Breaking news! A decision is looming that could reshape the entire defense, spark debate among fans, and potentially alter the balance of power in the NFC. A highly skilled player, once considered one of the best at his position, has suddenly become available. He brings elite talent, undeniable instincts, and the kind of presence that can change the outcome of any game. But with that potential comes risk, uncertainty, and a history filled with frustrating absences. For a franchise known for building smart, calculated rosters, the opportunity is both enticing and daunting. Would you take a chance on a player who could elevate your team to championship status? Or would you walk away, trusting the foundation you've already built? This isn't just a personnel move. It's a high-stakes decision that could define the entire season, and one that has the entire fan base on edge. But first, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay in the know. What if I told you the San Francisco 49ers might be one move away from having the most dangerous secondary in the NFL, and that move involves a name you might not expect? Imagine this. The 49ers, already loaded with young, hungry talent in the secondary, have the chance to add a former All-Pro with elite playmaking skills, blazing speed, and the kind of swagger that could redefine their defensive identity. But there's a catch, and it's a big one. This isn't just about stats or cap space. This is about risk. This is about legacy. This is about whether Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch are willing to roll the dice on a player who might elevate their defense to historic levels, or blow up in their faces due to an injury history that reads more like a medical chart than a resume. Jaire Alexander, the once feared Green Bay Packers cornerback, is officially on the market. Released by the Packers after a slow, injury-plagued decline, the 28-year-old former Pro Bowler suddenly finds himself looking for a new home. The Packers tried to trade him, no takers. They offered him a restructured deal, he declined. So they let him go. And now, every cornerback-needy team in the league is on alert. But here's the kicker: despite the risk, the 49ers might be the perfect team to take that gamble. Let's break this down. Alexander has missed significant time over the past few years. We're talking about a player who's only appeared in 34 games over the last 4 seasons. For a franchise like the 49ers, haunted by injuries since Shanahan took the reins in 2017, that's enough to send shivers down the front office's spine. Knee, groin, shoulder, back. Multiple injuries in multiple seasons. It's the kind of red flag that stops most teams from even picking up the phone. But, and this is a big but, when he plays, he's still elite. Take his 2022 season, for example: 16 games, 14 pass breakups, 5 interceptions. That's shutdown corner production. Even in limited action in 2024, he managed 7 breakups and 2 picks over just 7 games. When targeted, he allowed a 56.7% completion rate. Yes, he gave up 3 touchdowns, but context matters. He's been matching up against the league's best receivers. He's still got the speed. He's still got the ball skills. And at 28, he's not done yet. Here's where it gets even more interesting. The Niners already have one of the most versatile defensive backs in football in Deommodore Lenoir. Lenoir's been a force: Pro Bowl-level play, inside and outside versatility, and just 1 touchdown allowed in coverage over the past 3 years. Then you add Renardo Green, who's projected to start on the outside. While he's entering a sophomore season that some fear could be a slump, he was rock solid as a rookie. His coverage grade ranked 28th out of 222 corners, and he had more passes defended than almost anyone in the league despite starting only 7 games. And don't sleep on Upton Stout. Drafted by the Niners this year, he's already making noise with sticky coverage, elite speed, and surprising physicality despite being under 190 pounds. He's expected to man the slot, which gives the Niners the flexibility to shift Lenoir outside if needed. But here's the chess move: if Green doesn't develop as expected, the 49ers could shift Lenoir inside and plug Alexander in on the perimeter. That trio, Alexander, Lenoir, and Stout, has the potential to become one of the most feared secondaries in the league. Of course, that all hinges on Alexander staying healthy. That's the bet. But it's a bet the Niners can afford to make. With $46.5 million in cap space, the second highest in the league behind only the Patriots, San Francisco has room to maneuver. They could structure a deal with injury guarantees, low base salary, high incentives. It's doable. And it could pay off in a massive way. Let's not forget, the 49ers defensive line is also undergoing a youth-fueled transformation. With the additions of rookies like Mel Williams, Alfred Collins, and C.J. West, the front is younger, more athletic, and potentially more effective at stopping the run. Combine that with Fred Warner, who just got a well-deserved pay raise, and the emergence of D. Winters and Nick Martin at linebacker, and you have the makings of a terrifying defense. All they're missing is one more lockdown corner. So the question becomes, do the Niners trust their young guys enough to pass on Alexander? Or do they pounce while he's available and still capable of playing at a Pro Bowl level? Keep in mind, this defense is already good. With Alexander, they might be great. But it's not just about football. It's about culture, fit, risk, reward, and ultimately, whether they believe this team can win now and how far they're willing to go to make that happen. That's where you come in. I want to know what you think. Should the Niners sign Jaire Alexander? And here's the twist that could make this story even more compelling. Jaire Alexander isn't just any free agent. He's the kind of player whose presence in the locker room could change everything, for better or worse. Known for his energy, confidence, and sometimes polarizing attitude, Alexander brings a big personality to any team. That could be the spark the 49ers need to fuel a defensive resurgence or a potential distraction if not managed correctly. The truth is, locker room dynamics matter more than most fans realize. And for a franchise like San Francisco that prides itself on culture, chemistry, and accountability, bringing in someone like Alexander would be a calculated gamble. But maybe that's exactly what the Niners need to take the next step. Maybe adding a fiery competitor with something to prove is how you inject fresh intensity into a veteran group hungry for a Super Bowl. Think about the matchups. Imagine a fully healthy Alexander going head-to-head with the best receivers in the NFC, neutralizing threats and allowing the defensive line to feast. Imagine the flexibility Steve Wilks would have calling plays, knowing he has 3 corners who can lock up receivers one-on-one. That's how championship defenses are built. But again, it's a gamble. One that comes with physical risk, financial implications, and locker room complexity. Is it worth it? That's the million-dollar question. So what do you say, faithful? Should the Niners push all their chips in and take a shot at adding Jaire Alexander? Or should they trust the young core, stay patient, and build from within? Drop a comment below. I want to hear from you. Let's break this down together. And if you're loving this kind of in-depth, no-fluff Niners talk, don't forget to smash that like button and hit subscribe. This is just the beginning of a huge off-season. Stay with us. Go Niners!